All right, today we're jumping into a role that's right at the heart of how great products get made. But man, is it often misunderstood. We're talking about the product owner. Why is this role so critical? Well, because it's basically the last line of defense against a company's absolute worst nightmare.
You've probably seen this happen, right? It's the question that keeps people up at night. The team is buzzing, they're working hard, code is flying out the door, but when the product actually launches, nothing. Crickets. All that work, all that brain power spent building the completely wrong thing. It's a super common and painful problem, but there is a role specifically designed to stop it from happening. And that's where the product owner steps in. See, their job isn't about checking boxes or managing timelines. It's about one thing and one thing only: maximizing the product's value. The product owner, or PO for short, is totally obsessed with the why behind every single thing the team does. So what does that actually look like? Well, they are the one person held accountable for making sure whatever the dev team builds is as valuable as it can possibly be. A good way to think about it is they're the champion for what the customer desperately needs while also balancing that with what the business wants to achieve. They are, for real, the voice of the customer living inside the team. The Scrum Guide, which is basically the official playbook for this stuff, puts it right there in black and white. And the keyword here is accountable. This isn't just about being involved. It means the success or failure of the product's value that rests squarely on the PO's shoulders. And for this to actually work, the entire company has to respect their decisions, period. So, how in the world does one person do all this? How do you take some huge, ambitious idea and turn it into actual work that a team of engineers can build? Well, it's a journey from the super high-level strategic vision all the way down to the nitty-gritty, day-to-day details.
It all kicks off with the product vision. This is the North Star, right? The ultimate reason this product even exists. From there, that vision gets broken down into a product roadmap, which kind of sketches out the big moves over the next few quarters. And that roadmap is what constantly feeds the single most important tool a PO has, the product backlog.
Okay, and this part is huge. The product backlog is not just another to-do list. It is the single source of truth for every single thing the team is going to work on. If an idea for a feature, a bug fix, anything, if it isn't in that backlog, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't exist. Now, what's so cool about the backlog is that it's not set in stone. Think of it less like a list and more like a deck of cards. It's a stack, ordered from most valuable to least, and the team always pulls from the top. It's a living thing, constantly being reshuffled and reprioritized as you learn more. And it has to be totally transparent, so everyone from the CEO down knows exactly what the game plan is. So yeah, managing a backlog is a big deal, but a PO's success really boils down to their ability to be the central hub for communication. They're the bridge that connects the world of business strategy with the world of technical execution. This means they have to be incredible translators. They take the messy, complicated, and often conflicting demands from all the stakeholders and distill them into crystal clear instructions and context for the development team. It's a non-stop act of negotiation, clarification, and honestly, a lot of persuasion.
For instance, when a PO is talking to the CEO, they're not talking about lines of code. Nope. They're talking about money and strategy. They're talking about monthly recurring revenue, customer churn, which is how many people are bailing on you, and retention, which is how many are sticking around. They've got to back up their decisions with hard data to prove they're moving the needle on the company's goals.
But then they turn around and talk to the development team, and the whole conversation changes. Here, the PO's main job is to be the chief storyteller for the why. Why are we building this? Who is it for? What problem are we solving for them? They're in the trenches with the team every single day, refining work and answering questions so the team has everything they need to build the right thing the right way.
And it doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. They're constantly plugged into customer support to hear about real-world problems our users are facing. And they're working side by side with marketing and sales to make sure that when a killer new feature is ready, the world is ready to hear all about it.
So, all this talk about planning and teams might have you wondering, isn't a product owner just a new, fancy name for a project manager? This is probably the biggest mix-up about the roles, so let's just clear the air right now. The answer is a definitive no.
Look, I get it. At a glance, you can see why people get them confused. Both are leadership roles, both want to get things done successfully, but when you really dig in, their core focus, their whole mindset, and the environments they work in are worlds apart. This chart lays it out perfectly. The product owner, they are obsessed with the why, maximizing value with a flexible product backlog. The project manager, they're focused on the how and when, executing a fixed project plan. The PO thrives in the flexible, adaptable world of Agile, while the PM is often the master of a more traditional waterfall world, where the goal is to deliver a predefined project on time and on budget.
So as you think about these two, ask yourself, which one sounds more like you? Are you the visionary, constantly thinking about customer problems and business value? Or are you the orchestrator, a master of juggling timelines, resources, and risks to get a project over the finish line? Knowing the answer can really point you in the right direction.
And that question really gets to the heart of what it takes to be a truly great product owner. It is a seriously demanding role, and it requires this really unique mix of skills.
I mean, just look at this. A great PO can't be a one-trick pony. They've got to be analytical, an amazing communicator, technically aware, decisive, and a natural collaborator. Finding someone who has all of these qualities in one package, well, that's why this role is so hard to fill.
Let's break it down. It's kind of like you need two different brains working at once. On one side, you've got the analytical mind, someone who can dive into data, untangle complex problems, and make tough, decisive calls about what's most important. But on the other side, you need incredible people skills, the ability to paint a compelling vision, negotiate with tough stakeholders, and create a team environment where everyone wants to work together.
And all of that has to be built on a rock-solid foundation of knowledge. You can't just wing it. A PO has to have deep knowledge of their market and their customers to make credible decisions. They need to understand how software gets built, have a good sense for what makes a great user experience. And of course, they need to know Agile and Scrum inside and out.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The product owner is not a project administrator. They are not a task manager. A truly great product owner is a strategic driver of business value. They are literally shaping the future of the product one smart decision at a time.
And that brings us to one last thing to think about. In today's world, where products are getting crazier and more complex by the minute, is the core of the PO's job actually changing? Maybe the most critical skill for the future isn't just managing a list anymore. Maybe it's the ability to tell a clear, compelling, and inspiring story that gets everyone, from the CEO to the newest engineer, pulling in the same direction.